basketball, you. It's the Daily Trainer, and I'm back with the new series. It is daily training, but on another level. It's me training daily the athletes that I told you about that I train all the time. So instead of talking about it, I'm going to show you what it's all about. So here we go. This is Cole Anderson, a lethal shooter of sorts, and he plays for UC Santa Barbara, and he's going into his last year. And basically what we're looking at right now is just him warming up, and in his warm-up he likes to make a certain amount of shots that he's comfortable with as he goes around the three-point perimeter. One thing that I do notice about Cole on a consistent basis is how consistent he is in his reps and his work ethic. Works pretty hard in regards to most people that I see or that I work with. He is pretty relentless when it comes to making sure he is repping out his perfect rep. Sometimes he gets makes in a row, sometimes he misses in a row, but if the rep feels good, he's good with it. He'll get one more make in, and he typically will move on. One thing that Cole has represented for me in the training aspect, seeing him from high school to now, is more of his mental focus on the defensive end. He thinks that it will help him become a better professional, and he also believes that it is vital to the success at the level of Division I basketball. So hearing that from him, a guy who scores all the time, or a guy who was scoring all the time in high school, is something that you guys need to hear, because defense is very important, as it will keep you on the floor in college, as well as it will probably get you some playing time in high school. So really good points there by Cole as I continue to talk to him and see him grow as a man opposed to a kid in high school. One thing in this workout that I really helped him with is more of just being relaxed with his decision making. As we go into the workout a little bit more, you'll see different clips throughout this series of him working with me on all game type scenarios. And before, it was more about what I had planned for him. Now it's about being efficient and getting the work done that he's going to have to do in the game. So we want the practice to feel like the game. That is the most important thing when working anyone out from this point on, moving past the summer. The summer is for, adding a skill or two. And if you did not spend the time to do that, you're right in the middle of probably not spending time on that anymore. Now it's time to get what you're going to get in the game done now. So perfect what you are going to be doing in the game so that you can make it drill-like and it's natural and there's no second guessing. One thing Cole does, again, very well is he is very consistent in his reps with his shooting. And as you can see here, there's really no edits right now, and this guy very rarely misses. So it's pretty impressive. One of the best shooters I've come across and coached, and I'd say he's in my top 5, and I've worked with a lot of different people. I would say Cole's biggest skill, at least when he's working out, is his mental. He never really lets a miss or anything detour him from continuing what his goal is for what he wants to see out of the workout. I very rarely see him put his head down or stop the entire workout to show that he's upset or show that there's a little bit of distress, where he is basically letting the emotions affect his play. And so with that, the biggest thing is, if your mental capacity is just as consistent and good as your physical, then you are on your way to figuring out how to be a professional. Because in the professional game, there is a lot of ups and downs, and it has nothing to do with your skill. A lot of it can be politics. A lot of it can be position-based. A lot of it can be some odds stacked against you in regards to your status as a player, how you got in. Was it through connections? There's a long list of things that it could be. And are you going to mentally stay prepared as well as physically stay prepared for your moment if you don't get it? And that's something he had to do in college as a freshman, coming from high school, averaging like over 24 to 5 points a game, to going to basically not playing some games based on not knowing defensive rotations, and also playing behind a few older people who basically put in their time to get the time for their later years. With the transfer portal, that kind of helped his situation with people leaving and coming in because newer players may not know the system as well. So it gives him an opportunity to shine a little bit while they're trying to figure it out. And if he's playing well enough, then obviously you're going to give the player that's playing well the playing time. And that is what Cole has worked his tail off to do. And he continues to work with the same work ethic, not really letting the college life and the aspect of NIL really affect what his main goal is, and that is to become a pro. We've talked about what it takes to be a pro in the NBA, and we've also talked about what it takes to be a pro overseas. And a lot of similarities go hand in hand there. Overseas is going to be more mental. NBA is going to be more the physical aspect. Do you meet the right dimensions? Are you putting yourself in a category where they need you based on your abilities? And what is it that you do great opposed to what you do good? And then where do you lack a lot? And if you lack too much in one area, is it detrimental to your opportunity to at least even get your foot in the door in the G League? And would you be willing to play in the G League even though they probably are going to pay you more overseas? So there's a lot of things you have to weigh when looking at what decisions you want to make in the future. Now, with talking about all this, I know some of you would say, well, what about right now? Anything can happen to him, even in a workout or a scrimmage or a summer league game or something of that nature. And yes, you're absolutely right, but you also have to set goals as everything is going to be okay and not stay so present in the moment to where you lose sight of what's in the future. Cole really explained to me that he needs to work on coming off of screens more in the live dribble aspect of things. So that's kind of what we were working on here.
Coming off of this, I want you to wave and then be able to counter back. I want you to be able to read that. So as you come here, counter back, I want you to wave, check, and get to that area. Out, boom, right. I was looking for the tougher shot, so I want you to get used to that because they're going to force you to that down. And so you don't let you over the screen because you shoot. There you go. 3-1, 3-1. Out. Good.
As we just wanted to come up with different scenarios that may be unorthodox instead of like going through a consistent mechanical shooting of you're going to take 2 steps coming off the screen, you're going to take 1 dribble and do this, you're going to step a certain way and then you're going to shoot. It was more just what he felt coming off of the screen. Maybe he was going to go all the way. Maybe he was going to step back. Just whatever he felt at that time to kind of give it more of a realistic game feel. Because sometimes when you drill, and then it doesn't go the way you want in the game, that's where the misses come from. So now it's not translating. You've made 1,000 shots in this moment, in this situation, but you didn't work on that same footwork of a guy reaching, a guy having his hand in your face, a guy showing off the screen. And that is typically what you run into with training, because you just do so much with no one on you. And for Cole, I told him I would love to guard him whenever he needs, but sometimes he just needs to see it go in based on what he's working on, so that visually he sees it over and over again. And then we'll get the physical aspect of me bumping him, trying to block his shot, grabbing his arm, and all those things that come into play that we don't see on television as closely as we would if we were there in person, or, like I said, working out. So just to give you some insight there. And again, he works out so hard every rep. And usually there's group workouts where you take breaks, but this guy's doing rep after rep after rep, hitting shot after shot, getting the elevation on his shot. And again, I just speak very highly of him, not only because I work him out, but it's just his work ethic and what he's continued to do through his career in high school and in college, and hopefully as a pro moving forward. So it's really cool to have him on film, because it would be somebody that I've seen for over an 8 to 9 year period have success. And that is the goal, to see if he can make it. Basketball U, thank you for coming in as you always do. Like I said, I want to give you a little bit more into just not only the individual training of like yourself, but kind of what I do with players. Not trying to say this is what you need to do. I'm just giving you an option of understanding that there's more than what I'm showing you, because I can't show it all to you. Sometimes you do need a partner to pass it to you, whether it's coming off flares, pin downs, curls. Sometimes rolling the ball just doesn't give you that same feel like a trainer passing you the basketball, okay? So glad you guys stopped by. Appreciate having you. Basketball U, I got a lot of stuff coming for you, and I want you to stay tuned in and keep growing with us, and go back to the training, because none of that stuff changes. The game has always been the same. And so continue to do that work, and I'm going to be here each and every day in every way to help you with the game that you love to play. You know it's me, the Daily Trainer, and I'm out. And remember, someone's always working. Are you?